projects, I will be showing you some golf stretches because I am on the UNCG women's team and have been golfing most of my life. So I thought it would be really fitting for the patients like you to be able to have stretches that help them improve their golf game. So I will be showing two different variations of the stretches today. Like if you have less mobility and maybe less balance, you can use a chair, or if you're more able to, you can use the floor with a mat. So we'll start off with the chair variation, and we will just do some pigeon stretches. So you will cross one of your ankles over your knee, and where one of your legs is creating a 90-degree angle, and you will bend from the hips and feel the stretch in this case, this is my right hip. You will feel the stretch. If it helps, you can kind of press down on your knee, but not too hard, and you'll just hinge at the waist and feel that stretch. The same way for the variation on the floor, it would look something similar to getting on your hands and knees, going up into a downward dog, and then bringing one leg through to where it is perpendicular to your mat, and you kind of just walk your back leg out to where you can feel the stretch in your hip there. I'll show you from the side on the floor as well, but yeah, go on your hands and knees, up into a downward dog, pull one of your legs through, and then you fold over. The more you fold, the harder it's going to get. So if you haven't done this stretch before, I would recommend you maybe doing less forward fold at the start, just so you don't pull a muscle. But I would do the pigeon stretches on both legs for about 30 seconds each, and I would go through this about 2 times. So after the pigeon stretch, we can do it's called the greatest lunge of all time. One of our trainers taught me this. So basically, you go into a lunge, whichever foot you feel most comfortable with. You're going to do it on both sides. You press the opposite hand. So my left foot's on the ground, my right hand is also going to be on the ground. And you lift one arm up and twist. And you can use the chair for support. I'll show you the other way as well, just so you can see it. Lunge, right hand goes down, twist. And I would recommend holding that for 10 to 15 seconds each side, and I would go through, again, this whole circuit 2 or 3 times just to get some good mobility moving in the hip flexors as well. And then another stretch that I really like to do before rounds that I will show you this way is, it's called thread the needle. When I'm warming up for rounds, I get on my hands and knees and rotate and try and lift this hand all the way up to the ceiling, opening up my chest, and then threading it through, pressing down on my arm to open up my back. And so I'll show you face on, hands and knees, rotate, thread the needle, and I kind of just hold it here to open up my back as well. Really warm up my T-spine. I usually do this 5 times each as well. I kind of go through this a little bit faster. I hold, thread the needle, switch sides, twist, thread the needle. One side will be better than the other, just depending on your golf swing. Like, it's easier for me to rotate to the right because I'm a right-handed golfer, so I rotate to the right all the time. So I would recommend you can do that as many times as you want. It really just helps warm up my back muscles so I can swing a little bit easier. And then another thing that I really like to do before rounds is the cat-cow, which I think is pretty familiar to most people, but hands and knees, You're gonna go cat is raising your back up. Cow is pushing your belly button to the mat. So cat, like pulling everything up to the ceiling. Cow. And I go through this probably 10 times each. And it's really good to just warm up your back. I can show you face on, but I don't think. So here, pulling your shoulder blades up to the ceiling, pinching everything, pulling your tailbone up to the ceiling, and then pulling your belly button down to the floor for the cow. During tournaments, everything tends to get pretty tight. So I would recommend for warming up for rounds, if you do have a mat like this, you can kind of get up on your hands and knees or into a downward dog position and pull one leg through, drop your back knee down, and kind of have good posture and just lean forward, and it really should open up the front of your hip there. And then same thing with the other side. I'll show you face on, downward dog, or however you want to get into this front lunge position, and you kind of just press your hips forward. And then for the chair variation, I would do the same thing as we did for the world's greatest lunge, is you can kind of just use it as support, but still bend forward, pushing your hips forward. I'll show you this way as well. You just kind of press forward. And then same thing on the other side. I would recommend holding that for 10 to 15 seconds, 2 to 3 times. And all of these stretches should help you be able to warm up faster and easier with less stiffness, and should really just warm up your back and hips to be able to rotate correctly and hopefully improve your golf game.